Here is David Icke on the Mystic Broadcast Network.
Something within me, the something that's driven me on for 30 years, says no. There are some big surprises coming. And this cult is very vulnerable to people awakening to it, because its biggest source of power is, apart from human power being handed to it, is the fact that people aren't aware that it exists. But more and more people are becoming aware, but there's this transition that needs to take place where people cross the road. And that doesn't mean there has to be a violent revolution. There has to be a revolution of perception, because from that everything else comes. We live within a field of potentiality, a field of energy, vibration, which is all possibility. Everything that exists in this reality is a frequency. Every thought is a frequency. Every emotion is a frequency. And so if you believe that you are little me and you have no power, then that frequency band that is generated by that perception of self will interact with the field, and you will create a feedback loop that will appear to you to be a self-fulfilling prophecy. You think you're little me, you have no power, you are experiencing a life of little me, I have no power. Not because it's true, but because you believe it is. And when you open your heart and you open your mind and you re-self-identify from I am are labels to I am all that is, has been, and ever can be, having a brief experience, then that your band of frequency explodes both in its breadth and scale and in its frequency, and you start interacting with the field of possibility and probability at that level. And this is why when people go through this awakening process, they start to find that amazing synchronicities start to happen in their life that didn't happen before. Coincidences and bits of luck and things just happening when you need them, or meeting people in strange circumstances. My God, fancy seeing you here. And people look back and they think, well, this wasn't happening before. No, because you were interacting with a narrow band of frequency with the field of possibility, and that's what you were experiencing. Now suddenly you started to awaken, you're interacting with the field in a completely different way, more expanded way, and now things that you can manifest in that feedback loop, fine detail, bits of luck, things happening just when you need them, meeting exactly the people you need to meet to expand your awakening, these suddenly start happening. They're not miracles. They're just that you are now interacting with the field at a completely different level. And so when you go through this process and you do what you know to be right, and you do what you know to be right, never mind consequences, you do what you know to be right, that very nature of what you're doing is expanding your consciousness and expanding your interaction with the field. And so the consequences that you might have feared don't manifest, because your interaction with the field is drawing to you what you need to achieve what you know to be right to happen. So we are creating our own reality all the time by our perception becoming our experience. It's why we need a revolution of perception. And this is why the cult works 24/7, controlling the information that we receive, and the excuse for an education system that we are told it is, when it's an indoctrination machine, a perception programming machine. They are working all the time to hold our perceptual state in a low vibrational, low awareness, low self-identity state, because they know that if they can control our perception, they can control our experience. And we can take that control back whenever we choose. And when we do, people are going to be shocked at how their life will change and how all the consequences they thought would happen don't actually happen.
That was David Icke on the Mystic Broadcast Network.